Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. You are watching Amara's Kitchen. If this is the first time you're coming across this channel, you're welcome to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys so much for your support. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please take a few seconds and click on that subscription button, turn your notification bell on, and give this video a thumbs up as well. Alright, today we'll be making delicious bitter leaf soup without timing. Keep watching. Alright guys, to facilitate the cooking process, I've went ahead and parboiled all the meat that I'll be using. So go ahead and parboil your meat. I just used stock cube, pepper and salt to parboil my meat. That's it. I did not add any seasoning or anything like that. And I'm also adding the water that I got from parboiling the stockfish. So that's it. Parboil your meat, whatever you're gonna be using. Okay, guys, I'll be using some catfish, and here is the catfish that I'll be using. And I'll go ahead and add in some water to have that soaked up and washed. So use any fish of your choice. Like I'm using catfish. Any favorite fish that you prefer to use, feel free to do that as well. Okay, so I'll go ahead and leave this to soak up in the... So I'm not using cold hot water. This is just regular cold room temperature water actually. So I'll go ahead and let that sit for a few minutes. And the next fish I'll be using is mackerel. So if you guys remember this mackerel from my previous recipe when I smoked the mackerel. So if you haven't seen the video, I will go ahead and put the link at the top there, so you can click that, or you can check out the description section. I'll be putting the link to this smoked fish. Yeah, if you don't know how to make this, you can have that on the description section. Go check it out guys. Okay, so I'll go ahead and it's already clean. Yeah, I already cleaned up the fish. So I'll go ahead and take off the toothpick that I added in there. So this fish is completely clean and ready to go. All I have to do is just to break it up and take off the tail. And the tail that I removed, I did not throw it away. I ate it, so you know, okay? So I will do the same thing to this one. So at this time, you can rinse this fish up, or you can just put it in your soup like that. It's all clean and ready to go. So I'll go ahead and add just cold water to rinse that off. Like I said, this fish is completely clean. So I'll just use cold water and rinse off whatever that I feel like rinsing. Once the catfish is all clean and ready to go, I'll set that aside. And my mackerel, I also rinse it up a little bit, but it's not necessary because the fish is already clean. I'll set that aside as well. And the next is my thickener. What I'll be using for my thickener for today is oatmeal, Quaker oats. So I'll go ahead and pour in about half a cup of water in the little blender and pour in my oatmeal and have that blend properly. Okay, make sure it's well blended. And I'm just using this as an alternative. The main thing that we're supposed to use for this soup is cocoyam, but unfortunately I do not have that like handy right now, so I always use oatmeal, which is Quaker oats. It works very well as well. So if you're not in a place where you have cocoyam like readily available at your disposal, you can use oatmeal because you will still get the same result. So I added my catfish, and I'll also go ahead and add in the blended oatmeal. All right, so at this point I want to make sure that I rinse the blender to make sure I get every single bit of my oatmeal out of that blender. You don't want to waste it, so I erased it. I erased it like twice. I use water to erase it like twice, and then I get every single thing out, and then go ahead and stir that up. Make sure that everything is well mixed properly. And I'm adding naan, one naan, and the naan has two inside of it, so I'm adding the two. So I'll go ahead and add my crayfish. I have 5 tablespoons of crayfish. I'm adding half of it at this point, and also adding some Cameroon pepper. Use any pepper of your choice, any favorite. You can use red crushed pepper or Scotch bonnet pepper. But when I'm making local soup, I like to use the local peppers like Cameroon pepper. Okay, so I'm adding the ogiri. You need ogiri for this soup to be complete. You cannot make onugbu soup without ogiri. You'll be missing out a lot. Not that you cannot make it, but the taste will not be the same. You'll be missing that beautiful, delicious taste of onugbu soup, bitter leaf soup. You need ogiri, you know. So just go ahead and add oil as well. My stove is completely off at this point. It's not on, it's off. So go ahead and add a little bit of salt. Do not add too much salt at this time. You have to reassess your soup to know if you need more salt later. Add the mackerel. Like I told you guys, you don't need any timing for this soup. Even if this is the first time you're attempting making bitter leaf soup, you will get it perfect. There will not be any need for mistake at all. Okay, and here is my bitter leaf. So I already parboiled this bitter leaf. The bitter leaf is really that bitter, and parboil it a little bit. Depending on how bitter your bitter leaf is, then you decide if you need to parboil it before adding or not. So this bitter leaf that I'm using is pretty much very bitter, so I have to parboil it for a couple minutes before using it. Otherwise my soup is so bitter, like I can't even eat it. So I'll go ahead and cover the pot up and let it simmer or cook for like about 10 minutes. So 10 minutes later, the soup is bubbling right now. Go ahead and stir up everything together very well. Okay, so I'll make sure everything is mixed up properly, being careful not to smash all the mackerel. You know, mackerel can be very tender. Even if they are smoked, they are still tender. So I will stir up everything and I'll cover this back up, just tasting it for now, but I'll cover this up again and let it simmer for another 10 good minutes. There is nothing more convenient enough for like not having to time when to put crayfish, stock cube, any of that. You don't have to like worry about any timing at all. So that makes this soup so easy to put together. So at this point, I'll go ahead and add my remaining crayfish. Okay, so after adding the crayfish, and I will stir the soup up very well. After stirring it, I have to give it another taste at this point to know if I need another salt or not. And tasting it, then I need a little bit of salt. So I needed a little bit of salt because I added just a little bit before. Just add salt just a little bit again and stir everything up. At this point, the soup looks like it's loose, like kind of watery, but it is okay. All right, all this soup, like native soup, the soup that you make with oatmeal or cocoyam, they look watery when they are still hot, but once it cools down, it thickens up. So just be mindful of that. All right, so at this point the soup looks watery, but that's okay. It's gonna cool off and it's gonna be thicker than it is right now. So I don't want my soup being too thick. So here we are done with this soup. Look at that. So even if this is your first time you're making an attempt of making bitter leaf soup, believe me, you will have a very amazing result with this method. You don't need to time anything. When am I going to add pepper? When will I add the bitter leaf? When will I add the cocoyam? You don't need to ask all those questions because everything is done once. All right, so the soup is ready. Look at that. Come and eat, guys. Come and eat. So I am inviting you now. Do not say I did not invite you when I'm eating this finger licking soup. Yummy delicious soup. So come and eat. Okay, you're welcome, you're invited. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for your support. I do appreciate you guys so much. This soup tastes so amazing. Give it a thumbs up, guys. Give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate that, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Have a wonderful summer. Have a blissful day. See you guys next time, my next video. Bye.